watch them, they remind me of elite defenders on a basketball court, right? They want to contest each and every pass.
Great contest on third down to bring up fourth. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. So they'll play the field position game here as a very nice punt is going to pin them back.
Yeah, it's almost like watching a game of tennis, or do you prefer ping pong? You know, back and forth like that? But it definitely was excellent, wasn't it?
And now Oakland ready to take the field. They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
They'll begin the drive with Jackson on the ground. So he got free of one tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. The numbers for Jackson in last week's game, the hat trick +1, 4 trips to the end zone with his legs.
And, partner, you know how all the guys do when they do that little symbol now about eating, right? Keep feeding me, feeding me. They just kept feeding him and feeding him, and next thing you know, he kept getting in the end zone.
3-0 after 1 on EA Sports.
8-3.
On second down, this is Jackson. And he'll take this one only up to about his 13-yard line. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it's going to make it third down at 6.
Some of these play calls, I think they're a little conservative, but you know me, because it's easy to sit up in this booth, right, and make all the calls and think I'm going to be correct. But I would like to see them open things up, because otherwise this defense is going to gang up on the run and shut them down.
And he's going to get the first down here as he's taken down at the 22. Got what they needed there. The drive continues with a 9-yard pickup.
I know exactly what's going to be said about that play from the defensive perspective.
What's that?
That's why I tell all you guys we need more than one tackler to the ball. He broke the first tackle. Luckily enough, there were more people there to get him down.
They go jet sweep here with Williams. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. Still a few inches short of a first down as they come up now on second down. On the run, this is Jackson. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Give him a first down, 15 yards that time for the Raiders.
Brandon, after last week, we went over 200 yards. Looks like the hot tub, cold tub, whatever he did, it worked pretty well.
Much chatter about that performance. Rightfully so. AFC Offensive Player of the Week. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now Jackson. And this time the yards won't come so easy as they'll, in fact, tackle him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. On second down now, it's Jackson, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up third down.
Partner, you mind if I take off this headset and put on a coaching headset?
You want to get this running game going?
I want to get this running game going. I'm going down there and saying, gentlemen, we have got to run the football. We've got to get it going right now.
Yeah, to this point in the second quarter, it has been a struggle. And he'll go down. The Bears get there for the sack. That's sacked by Khalil Mack.
2 sacks last week. Another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
A few times he's even defeated double teams. He doesn't care at this point. 42 yards on the punt, just 2 on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. He's been good. His guys are winning. So far, the recipe working here in the second quarter.
And he doesn't like to just tote the rock. He wants to carry his team on his back, and that's that's what he's done throughout this game.
Yeah, he's done that. He'll be hoping to continue that trend. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. 2nd and 10. That is incomplete. Trey Burton, the one he was looking for. But now it's 3rd down.
When I watched that play, I thought about what my coaches have told me in the past. The biggest teaching point, get your head around. Locate the football so you can make a play on it while it's in the air. That's exactly what he did there. That was nice.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Maurice Hurst in there to get him for a loss of 9 yards, and that also leads to 4th down. Well, they went with the nickel. They throw in an extra defensive back. Coverage was very good.
Yeah, it was exactly as you would expect. A passing down, you bring in the nickel package. Just as you described, the coverage was excellent and allowed one of their linemen to end up getting to the quarterback.
O'Donnell, he's on to punt as he gets this one away. On the return, Jackson. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Raiders will take over now 1st and 10. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. They haven't been able to get him on track. They haven't been able to get this offense on track. No points so far.
Maybe it's time to start doing a few different things. Throwing the ball a little bit, maybe featuring other people touching it for a while, and then you've got a chance to come back to it when things have changed a little bit. They have to make an adjustment.
There's still time for him here as we sit in the 2nd quarter. They'll start here with Jackson. He'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A big run there, 29 yards and a first.
That outside handoff to the left, that play has to warm the heart of an offensive line coach because they controlled the left side where they were supposed to. They didn't allow anything to leak from the backside on the right side of the offensive line either. Well played.
Yeah, they created a big run. Now it's Jackson. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down. 2nd quarter, 2 minutes remain. 3-0 our score. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. But it's Clinton Dix with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The struggles continue here offensively. Still nothing for him on the scoreboard, and now an interception.
Yeah, the offense looks extremely sluggish, not really in sync at all. Dare I say, it looks like it got left behind in customs.
Oh, you've had that in your back pocket. You were waiting for that.
Probably should have left it in my back pocket, too.
Well played. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll look to throw here. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
Well, the great coach has said football is really a simple game. Rush theirs, protect yours. And he's talking about those guys throwing the football. In this situation, the rush one, hitting the quarterback and forcing him into an incompletion.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. Back to throw. Looks to throw, fires right side. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down. So it doesn't look like they're going to be able to build off the turnover.
Well, the defense certainly did its part. It got them the football. But you're exactly right. It looks like they're going to have to punt this one away. And it's not a turnover, but doesn't it feel like one after grabbing the momentum with the defensive play?
Yeah, and they had all that momentum after getting the football, and now zapped right back in the other direction.
And he's got to be fired up about that effort. I don't think he could have walked down and placed it any better than where he ended up putting the football. That was excellent.
There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the second quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Yeah. Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
Second and 1. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's third down. They tried to throw on second down, unsuccessful. Now it's third and 1. Back to throw here. And that is incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
And how about this one now? In their own territory, a gutsy call. They're going to go for this on 4th and a yard. They'll try and throw for it here. And they will not be able to hook up there. It's incomplete. So certainly an interesting call there to go for it. And the Bears are going to get the football back, and they're going to get it in great field position.
I don't know why you would do that. It's almost guaranteed points the other way. I mean, I get it if it's a late game situation, maybe even 4th and inches. But, boy, that's a huge risk to take.
Yeah, now they're set up in prime position going the other way. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half. A first trip to the red zone for the Bears. They've got a 1st and 10 from the 10. Looking to throw. He rifles one that's intercepted. LaMarcus Joyner with a pick. Intercepted. Those INTs all sting, but you throw one in the red zone, I think especially as a rookie, maybe it stings a little bit more.
I think what you're saying is they don't all count the same, do they? Right? Interceptions in the red zone that you've given up points now, those are precious, so you have to learn from those and in a hurry.
Just over 30 seconds to go in the half. They've got it 1st and 10. From deep in their own territory, they look to throw. He's going deep for Brown. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's second down. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. They'll look to throw. And that is intercepted by the all-pro safety, Eddie Jackson. And he's given his guys a shot for late points as they will take over in range for a field goal or maybe more. On first down, Peyton. This carry with the extra effort is going to get him stopped up just shy of the 10. Now the Bears going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. 2nd and 3. It's complete to Robinson. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. And offensively, they'll take the timeout with 6 seconds left in the second quarter. So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. From the right hash, and this one just a chippy. The kick by Pinheiro is good. And they're able to double their lead just before half. It's 6-0. So a late turnover leads to a quick drive, and in turn that quick drive leads to 3 points.
So someone makes a mistake, but how about the other side learning from that mistake, taking care of the ball, and making sure they put some points on the board? Well done.
This will be fielded at the 8. So a couple of field goals had some. You want the third quarter already? No problem. Let's do it. As they say here in London, all to play for as we are back underway in the second half. This is taken at the 3. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. A reminder about Sunday Night Football later tonight. It's a rematch from the divisional round last year. Colts and Chiefs from Arrowhead. Then tomorrow on Monday night, the Browns and 49ers from Levi's Stadium, where the Browns already playing their third primetime game in the season's first 5 weeks. That'll wind up going for a loss of 4. And that's going to make it 2nd and 14. 2nd and 14. Got to give some credit there defensively. They snuffed out that screen early on first down.
Really read it well, didn't they? Because they didn't bring the pressure that they expected. They covered all the passing lanes. So once you see it break down as the passer, I think in this situation, you're throwing it at the feet of your back to make sure no one picks it off, or you throw it away, throw it over the sideline. Don't try and freelance and try and make a bigger play. There's really no one else running a pattern that should be open.
61, match box, Mike.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. It's caught by Jackson. It's a gain of 5, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. The last play on the completion got them half of what they needed. Now here's a tough 3rd and 5. And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. It's a 5-yard pickup, but spotted a few chain links short of the first, so a little bit of decision time here coming up on 4th down.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
And the coach has decided to challenge this play. He has tossed down the red flag.
The Raiders take over 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line.
Well, he challenged the play. It did not pay off.
And that means he lost a timeout in that challenge.
And as a coach, you hate that. Don't know if you took the advice of the player. You threw it yourself, but it didn't go your way.
At the end of the day, it all comes back to the head coach. He has the final determination on whether to actually challenge the play or not. In this case, it didn't pay off for him.
And that's got to be so heartbreaking. You throw that flag, you probably feel really confident, and then all of a sudden, boom, you lose the challenge.
Yeah, when you take a look at it, you're throwing that flag because you believe you're going to be right. And when it comes back the other way, you have to regroup.
The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. Khalil Mack, of course, the former Raider, there to make the tackle.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stop that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
23 yards on the play.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Might we see our first touchdown of the game? Here's 1st and goal. They run on 1st down with Jackson. And he's in! Touchdown, Raiders! A great effort there. Hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season, as his guys can now take the lead with the extra point. Now, let's not forget that was all set up by the 4th down conversion earlier in the drive.
Would have been a complete letdown if the drive doesn't culminate this way, wouldn't it? If you're going to go for it on 4th down, your intention is to make sure you get a touchdown out of the drive, and that's exactly what they did. Converted, and it converted a second time for 6 points.
So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here are the Bears now as they get set for their first possession of the second half. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10.
Ready? 18 Gator. Here we go, D. All day. Nice.
They'll run on 1st down. Peyton, he'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. They'll keep it on the ground. Peyton. A gain of 5, good enough for the 1st down.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral, also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
This one taken in by Hester. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Mark that down as a pickup of 13, and the Bears have the 1st. On 1st down, Peyton. And some room to maneuver. Touchdown, Chicago! A great play there. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Bears have taken the lead. Well, they had their chances in the first half, you remember, but had to settle for 2 field goals. This time they come away with 6.
I think they actually got affirmation about what they were doing by getting a touchdown because the field goals means they got in range but couldn't quite finish it off. This time, they broke through, and that's great for the old confidence.
And on the sideline, difference of a feeling between 3 and 6, is it astronomical or no?
It can be at times, that's for sure. A lot of times the field goal feels like a disappointment. The touchdown, well, that tells you you're getting it done.
Fielded about a yard deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. He's had a good performance, moved the ball effectively on the ground. Of course, he has the 1 touchdown.
And when you're able to move it as effectively as you've described, that leads to finding a way into the end zone, and now he's just trying to do it for a second time. And, of course, with that comes additional yardage.
Yeah, looking for additional yardage, and again, that second score here in the 3rd quarter. They'll run on 1st down. It's Jackson, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Again, it's Jackson as he'll stay on the ground. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. Maybe a gain of a yard that time, but from the spot, actually no gain. So 3rd and long. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. And they weren't in zone coverage. They were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
is going to do it for this third quarter of action. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Ready? Mike 54. Push him back. Push him back. 49. Check 49.
On play action, they'll throw. This one into the hands of Burton. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. The catch and run going to wind up netting him 33 yards. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on first down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. That's over 40 yards of movement with those last two plays. They'll keep it on the ground. Peyton. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Officially, it's no gain on the play, and they'll remain a few inches shy of a first with third down looming. He'll drop to throw. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's fourth down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces fourth down. So that's a big one. Obviously, Charles makes it a two-score game. His third field goal of the game, able to knock it through.
Yeah, not exactly free and clear yet, but as a defense, you get to play a little bit looser, don't you? Because you do now have a little bit of a margin of error, don't you?
Now the Oakland offense heading back onto the field to take over. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10.
Hey, box truck. Now.
They'll set up to throw. They'll rifle this one deep right side. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a third down. Charles, I think back to your earlier statement about the visitors being the underdogs needing to win that turnover battle, and this defense, they forced 2 turnovers so far, a big reason why they lead this game.
Yeah, and I know defenses always talk about getting turnovers in bunches, getting those takeaways. 2's not a bunch, but it's plenty in this game, exactly the formula they need. And I got to tell you, partner, I like it when you think back to something I said that actually comes true. It's actually right.
It happens more often than you might think. A pickup of 10, and it's enough for an Oakland first down.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game. Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now, following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17.
Quarterback, don't get nervous now. We begin the go. Don't get nervous. Check 52 at the mic. Check 52.
He'll look to throw. Got his man. That's Tyrell Williams. They get 16 out of that one, but they'll still need to convert on third. They'll drop to throw. He's got Casper over the middle. And he'll be brought down with the first down and a late flag here, too. And he may get a few more tacked on for good measure. Well, when you're leading in the fourth quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all, and now your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
They run with Jackson out of the gun. And he'll take this one down near the 15. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Hey, high 7.
2nd and 9 now. This is caught by Williams. Williams loses the football. And this is picked up by the Bears. And the return just out across the 15 to the 16-yard line.
Brandon, I don't want to violate any of our broadcasting rules by declaring a game over before it's over. But that one, that puts them in real jeopardy there.
Absolutely. It was a two-possession game. It is a two-possession game at this stage in the fourth. They needed points out of that drive.
And obviously now, no chance at all to get those points that they so desperately needed.
Yikes, a 4-yard loss really sets them back now for second down. Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. They're going to look to throw. He'll drop this off to Peyton. And able to get it here to about the 16-yard line. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts. That's going to leave them with just one remaining here in this fourth quarter. Now back to throw. And Robinson with a big catch. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. A gain of 22. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. They'll set up a throw. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against the zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation, and there the defense won the battle. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. Now, this is a big third down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Bears with the football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And he can only get this to the 42-yard line, and that is not near enough. It's a gain of 5, but it'll lead to a 4th down.
We often talk of situational football. Let's just call it team football. The defense did their job, got off the field, brought the punting situation, so they're turning the ball back over to their offense. You think those guys will get along very well right now? Of course they will. Defense helped the offense. Now it's their turn to take it downfield.
So the Raiders now down on the scoreboard. At time, a huge factor. It's been a struggle to score all day, and now they need to do it twice here late to have a chance. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
2nd and 10. That's caught out left side by Casper. Now the Raiders going to burn their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 1:06 left to go in the game. Now they'll try to convert on 3rd and 6 after the 4-yard completion. They'll look to throw here. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Khalil Mack in there to take him down, and the clock will roll. Got to be careful here. They need to move quickly, but it's also 4th. Back to throw. And he's got his big tight end over the middle, complete. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. They keep the game alive, at least for the moment, as it's a first down. Back to throw here. He's going to let it fly. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off at the 15. And a great return as he takes us up just shy of the 45. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And they've got this one in hand. No timeouts remaining defensively, so this one should just be one kneel and then handshakes. So this one in the win column for the Chicago Bears, and they were spurred on by a strong performance in that fourth quarter as they held their opponents off the scoreboard.
Everyone wants to pitch a shutout for the entire game, but when you throw one in the fourth quarter, that tells everyone that you're getting stronger and dominance is starting to take over, right? The way that you close, the way that you finish, that gets preached to you from the time you're playing Little League football all the way up through. And they closed them out with a big-time performance down the stretch.